am Cusack, and this is One Crazy Summer. Yay! Hi. I got in a good mood, and I felt okay. I suffered all day and for days before it. And now I feel okay. I felt really good, and I thought that hey, why is it in my shadow? I must have said I was in somebody's shadow. I said I was in my dad's shadow. I stuck here in this house and couldn't go bigger or something. I was mean. And I'm sorry, Dad. He's a really good dad. He's a really good dad. So, hi, how's your dad? You want to comment in the comments? Hello. There's Ayla. How can I film this without a shadow on it? Hi, there's Ayla. She's good. I'm trying to zoom in. I'm actually trying to zoom in and it wouldn't. Oh, here. Okay. Hey, she's a good baby. There's Ivan. She's a good baby. She's actually younger than Ivan and Rowan, but I photoshopped her into the picture. I made a Photoshop picture and I printed it up on my computer, and I had it printed up at a place or something, but I photoshopped it, and I put it in the picture frame. And I found these other pictures. There's one of Ayla, Ivan, and of course Rowan and Mama. There's Rowan, Ivan, and Mama. Hey, no, hi. There's us. There's all of us with Ayla, Ivan, Ayla. She's good. Yay! I love you, Ayla. She's good. Rowan, Dada, and Mama. Dada and Mama. Yay! I actually believed in my kids being as big as possible on earth in a godly, good way. I raised them in the ways of the Lord. There are no limitations on how high they could go with things that they achieved on earth that were godly and good. That's why they became really famous. And they have about 400 million views each. 400 million views because we believed in them. And we believed in them to be good at things. And they're really good at what they do. And they actually worked really hard at it. And Rowan has a special ability at it that God gave him, even without knowing. God made him really good at acting. And and Ivan's a genius at art. And Ayla is really good at piano. And so that's Mama, me, Rowan, Ivan, Ayla. Hi. So I may leave. I've been having to suffer the least of everyone for like 3 years. 3 years. Here and there I feel okay. Like I have to suffer the least of everyone on the ground or something. And don't do it. It's not for you. And I think, well, God says in the Bible, or Jesus, that when you're the last in line, and Jesus descended down to hell, and I think he freed some demons, and they made it back up to heaven. They had been suffering in hell. Even demons, Jesus was so good, he helped all the people in Hades, many of them to get to heaven, and some spent forever in hell when Jesus descended down to hell, and Jesus was in hell. And Jesus said in the Bible, we can, when we're the least of everyone, this is a miracle. When Jesus said, when you're the last of everyone, I think that means you're able to be the first. He said, God said, many who are the last will be first, and many who are first will be last. And there are other parables in the Bible that for some reason, I don't know. I really don't know. But I've had to feel the least of others. I've had to feel the least of others. I've had to feel the least of others. And here's Rowan, but he's not here. He's almost flown here. He just turned 19. He was 18 when he was here, and he was at this house. And we filmed videos at this house. You know, he was here, but he's going to come back, or we're going to somewhere else. I don't want to tell you. A different city, Los Angeles, because I need to make enough money to pay my bills. And my dad's been being funny. I don't know why. He doesn't want me to work for him, he said, or he wants me in a lowly position like a painter or somebody like that. And so, I think he wants me to leave, and I'm running low on money. Okay. I don't know why he doesn't let me. I don't know why he doesn't co-sign a loan for me to do all the work to a new house, not a new house, a house that's old for like $40,000 or $80,000 nowadays. You might have to buy them for like $80,000, and I do all the work with me and with other men, unless it's small enough that I could do all the work myself and hire out only some things that really professional guys do that I may not be able to do as well, and it would take me a little longer to do, but I'm really good at doing the work. And I've worked so hard in my life on hard labor at homes that I didn't want to do the labor anymore. And I'm good at hiring men. He doesn't want to help me co-sign a loan to do another house. I don't know why. He said he needs workers now, but he might pay a bunch. I don't know. I don't know why he would only need workers. I'm more of an idea person, and I was a real estate agent, and I've been in real estate offices since the early 1980s when I was a baby or a little boy. And so I don't know why he doesn't want me to be earning at least $80,000 a year to pay for me, my wife, and kids. There are 5 of us, so $80,000 a year is like barely here we can get by on it, but it's barely enough, you know. And then I can get to work with Danica. I don't know, I may have to leave, but because I don't know if he wants to pay me $80,000 a year. He said he wants me to work like on homes like one of his workers, and he called them workers. And I've already been a worker. I had to become a worker when I came back to Virginia, like one of the working men guys who I had to do that. I had to learn how to do that kind of work, and I know how to do the responsibility of it. I don't want to do it. And so he said he'll hire me as a worker, which is low paid or something, or he may give me there's a chance he may give me a bunch of money a day. I don't want to say how much, but I don't know. And I've talked to him about it, and you know, I already worked for him for 20 years, for him and my mom. My mom owns the same houses and stuff that he owns. They're married, and legally, when people are married, unless they signed a prenup or something, which my mom and dad never did anything like that. And you know, they were from a different time, and people stayed married back then, usually. And you know, they just don't do that kind of thing in my family. I didn't sign a prenup with my wife. You know, we're the same. You know, God married us, and we're the same. Why would you want to pretend like keeping money from somebody? And I didn't have any money back. I didn't know if I had any money back then. My mom and dad may have had my name in a house or something, like if I needed to survive or who knows what, and then I would have lived, or I don't know, because I did live, and that's the only way things have been. And some people died, I don't know, but anyway, how are you? I'm gonna check the comments. Huh. This is not felt that great. There's Ayla. I'm gonna check the comments. I don't do drugs. I got the thought from my wife, better look around. I don't know why. She wants to make it look like I'm on drugs to somebody. Like as if I'm checking my house to see if there's any stuff around. I don't do any of that garbage. It's illegal and I don't want to risk getting in trouble. And guess what? Um, it may be bad for people. It may be bad for people. Drugs. So even if they pretend that it's legal in a state, say like you had a federal person check on it, you'd get in big trouble at the federal level. So if they want to do marijuana, Trump is going to have to legalize it at the federal level, or you're risking jail for a year or something like that if you even do marijuana. So, who would want to do it? So it's not even really legal because at the federal level it's not. So people are like in the shadows hiding when they do it. And, why would you ever do it? And it feels bad. And, I don't have a reason to do it and I'm afraid to do it because it's wrong. So I don't know. Anyway, may have to change the video to mention something about it. But I don't do that kind of stuff. But maybe my wife's angry at me and I got a thought from her. Pretend you're looking around at stuff, like check and make sure there's not like some people who do that stuff leave their drugs around or whatever. I don't do any. There's Ayla. Let me check these live chat thing that's covering so I couldn't see. But it's not YouTube's fault. I really like YouTube. All right, I don't see any comments on here. Let me turn the phone sideways because I don't know. I pressed live chat. I couldn't find any chat. All right, there's only one person watching it. Wow. Well, there's Ayla. I don't see any chat. I don't know why. There should be a bunch of people chatting. There's Roan and Ivan. We never had any anxiety about or worries. Of course we had anxiety. Those were the good old days, right? When that was the only problem, anxiety. Ha 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 ha. How fun it was. Literally. And sorry. I'm so mean. Right to Illa's face. I hope she didn't hear that. I gotta get out of here. The bad people want to hurt her. Okay, I better leave. You best leave. You take the whole place. You're the one who makes it feel bad here. You don't do that around here because they're doing their drug that they tried for their make them feel young and stuff like that. And you take the whole place down, man. I don't know. Maybe they do something. I don't know. No, because I said that about them. Ew. And I thought that they took I thought that they made it feel gloomy and sad and good. And so judge not lest ye be judged. But judge not really means don't assume people are going to burn in hell. Don't assume people are going to burn in hell forever. I'm tired of showing that painting. It's like somebody wants me to destroy it. I don't know who. Somebody in my life because they have some kind of power and influence on the way that I live. If you think that's me, it's wrong because I always shaved my face back then and liked looking young. I didn't like having an old beard. And to not be selfish and not to get to be the coolest Superman, I drew a beard on him. I painted a beard on him. I painted a beard because it was somebody else instead of me. And I don't know who it is. I'm trying to look at it and figure out who that person may be, but I never want to grow a beard like that. Because years later, I looked it up. I looked up because I made his blue beard, his beard blue, and I didn't know why, but I made his beard blue. And I found out the guy who was called Bluebeard was a pedophile. He was a pedophile. And it was almost me, but I put a beard on him. This was Superman. I was supposed to be him, but in real life, I would never do it. But like, how they say they pretend somebody's a pedophile if they liked teen on the internet, if they liked teen, that's at least 18 or 19, if they liked so that age, they thought that something good and they're older or something. And that, I don't do that. I don't ever do that. I don't care about that. I don't like that. And here's how I really am to all of them. Something like that out in public. That's how I've had to suffer for about 7 years, like right to their faces, to make up for whatever sin that I did. And my wife didn't know that that's how much it sucked to, I don't know, I don't have any idea what that sucked is, but people assume here's another crazy thing. People think you're a serpent. A serpent. I don't know what it is. They think it's the fangs of a snake or something like that. What is that? Is that their crazy fear that they think, it's not their fault, it's maybe their belief, but God created all animals. Some of them are unclean. Some of them are unclean. An eagle is unclean. Some bugs are unclean, some bugs are clean. Ooh, it's disgusting. I don't want to think about bugs, but some of them are okay, but a snake, that's an anxiety that showed up right then, that appeared right then, of two fangs. Somebody watching and think, you must be a Slytherin, for being Italian or something like that. What's the other thing they think about? Let's do a witch trial form round. He's famous. Must be an Illuminati, evil shit. We don't believe in Illuminati, but never mind. Never mind. But some people, they think that all snakes are the devil. A little green grass snake that doesn't have those fangs and has little tiny teeth, you make it right to heaven. That like creatures make it to heaven. We can't judge if an animal is going to get into heaven or not. So why would they try to pretend and put their stupid vampire fangs of a snake? What is that? It's their lie. It's their lie that they try to do with all the evil and meanness they try to put into somebody's soul like me, because they want me to burn in hell. And they're the most evil ones of all of them, maybe, if I'm judging them, if they're judging me. So just lay off your BS with snakes and don't attack people who are trying to do their work that they're genius at, that haven't been paid well enough for it yet. Don't think that somebody's a crazy Illuminati snake, a lizard person. What's the other ones they think? Slytherin. Slytherin. He's a Slytherin. Wait, what's the other one? I'm trying to think of it. I'm trying to think of the ones that I don't know. I said it in this video. I don't know. I wonder whose snake teeth they think it is. Maybe it's because I talked to Owl Bob. Maybe it's because I talked to Owl Bob and all his teeth fell out. All his teeth fell out. And so, he's not a lizard person or a snake. My dad had some of his teeth pulled, and that was pretty sad. My dad had to make it through two really difficult things with his health, and he made it through. He made it through, and he literally made it through. If you want to see the worst of how I look, I posed with it as old as looking as I could, and felt like I was a crippled in this light. I posed right here and did it, but I don't want to do it right now. And so I don't know where that anxiety came from of hissing snake teeth of a poisonous snake. I'd like to ask any of you out there if you had something to. I'd like to ask any of you out there if you had something to do with that anxiety that was put into my thoughts and mind while I was making this video. And I'd like to ask God and Jesus where that came from, and to remove that awful feeling, bad thing. In Jesus' name, amen. Praise God, praise Jesus. And if you think I'm some really famous person, I'm earning $9 a month at this right now. I'm earning $9 a month at this. $9, $8, maybe $8 or $6. And so why am I staying here? Because my dad said that he only wants to hire me as like one of his workers, but he may pay me $1,000 a day. I don't know, because I'm his real son. I don't know, but he won't answer me on how much he'll pay me. But one time, a couple weeks ago or something like that, I went out there with a little chainsaw and cut something down and cut another thing down, and it was about 10 minutes of work, 10 minutes, and he gave me $200. I noticed he gave me $200 more, that he was taking $3,000 out of the house. So he might want me to actually work again. So maybe it was a way to say that I can work for me. There'll be there'll plenty of, I don't know, because he told me he only needs workers, like people to paint, and he mentioned other things, but it's not supposed to be me, even though I would have tried to learn how to do it, but I wasn't supposed to. He mentioned other things for me to work at. I don't know. And not for me to work at, for workers to work at. So that's the problem. He called me a worker. He thinks that I'm a worker because he's older now, and his body's gotten older, and he doesn't like to see me like really athletic, like running a bunch and like looking really good and athletic, because he's 79 and he's barely hanging on, sometimes. So it's not his fault. It's just kind of wrong there for me to be like in my prime as a super athlete with a really good looking face, like if he's 79 and may have died twice, and he may have died twice in the past few weeks. I don't know, but great. What do I do here? Here's a low light. They think that that's his neighborhood. Or wrong, man. Here, this neighborhood is different from the southeast neighborhoods. This is some of those houses are okay. This is a good neighborhood because it was built by artists from Europe, and they hand carved this wood. And it's all throughout the house. I refinished this, and great. And it's all throughout the house. An artist built it. An artist built it like this. I think they hand designed that. This is like a real hand designed thing. So that's good. And there's all this wood throughout the house. Like, look at it. Is there anything like that in LA unless it's 30 million, They don't have stuff like this in Los Angeles unless it's 8 million or, I don't know, but millions at least. People want to break it for saying that, But look at this compared to their cheap apartments there that have cheap, I can paint this, right? You can paint this, you can clean that and paint it, and it looks really good, and wipe this off, and then look at this. It's literally made. It looks pretty amazing, and it's like handmade wood. Anyone who knows what stuff is, you can renovate this place, and it can be worth $1.2 million or $1.4 million. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it in this neighborhood. They don't want to hear the value of the house in this neighborhood. It's been a big problem. They don't want me to make huge goals. And if I talk about the house looking really good, they want my face to look old. They want to balance between shit and okay. They don't want me to feel my best. And I've had to suffer the least of all of them. I can't even look at my face when I was talking about how the house looked. One mention of the value of things, they get pissed off. I can feel it through the walls. I know they're home right now. I'm not even going to say why, but I might be crazy. But yeah, I might be crazy. But I'm leaving this place. I didn't know I was filming that. Sorry. But when somebody is out in the woods for long enough, they might start thinking weird things. But there's been like like those golf carts. They have a governor on them. Those golf carts. They called it a governor, that like the speed limit of it, like they don't let it go too fast on the golf course. So they did that like This is crazy. I'm not an it, I'm a he. But they did that to me, so I couldn't like really go big at stuff in a really good way. And instead, I had to suffer on the ground, like the least of them, like literally on the ground in here sometimes. And like having to suffer the least of them, like to do work for God and Jesus or something. And for God and Jesus. But I messed up here and there. It was for something. If I got angry at him, really angry at him, I kind of used to here and there, and they've almost taken away my entire. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. Bye. Praise.